Hello， 大家好，真是这一觉醒来，世界变化太快了啊！咱们这儿还没从刚才那波打完了的震撼当中缓过神来呢。特朗普呢，紧跟着又在这儿补了一记重锤，这不是吗？美国白宫刚刚正式发布了总统讲话，特朗普也亲自确认了，福尔多、纳坦兹、伊斯法罕全部都给炸了。注意啊，不是重创，不是瘫痪，特朗普的原话是全部摧毁，彻底抹除。
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
您看啊，这特朗普的讲话里，他没有掺杂着一丝犹豫，全是铁拳直接就往脸上砸的语气。他的这次事后发言不是威慑，就是告诉你，我不仅已经干了，而且呢，我还能干更多。至于后面呢，你就自己看着办吧。然而，就在特朗普在白宫发表讲话的同时呢，这个福布斯新闻也曝光了 B-2作战的核心细节。
That a full payload of bombs, those massive ordnance penetrators, the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs, were dropped at Fordow. And as we have reported, there are 2 entrances to Fordow. So at least 2 bombs at each 2 entrances, which suggests at least 2 B-2s were involved over Fordow. My suspicion is that there were more. And then you have the 2 other sites, Natanz, which is also has an underground enrichment facility. The Israelis had not been able to reach or take out that facility despite the last 10 days of bombing. And so now U.S. warplanes, likely another B-2 bomber, had dropped that MOP, the 30,000-pound bunker buster, on Natanz. And then you also have Isfahan, a third site south of Tehran, and that is also a very significant enrichment facility. So those B-2 bombers, it's possible that as everybody was looking west for the B-2s flying towards Guam, that in fact there was another package of squadron of B-2s that were flying east from Whiteman. It's about a 15-hour trip from Whiteman in Missouri to the Middle East, to Iran, and those bombers often fly round trip, and it takes them about 30 hours to get home. But they are out of danger tonight. They are not in Iranian airspace anymore, according to the president. The other thing I can point out, Brett, is that this is an operation in the last 18 years since I've been at the Pentagon. I've never seen such operational security. There was nobody speaking about this, any of the preparations. There was a complete lockdown, almost a blackout of information for the last few days. I'm sitting here in the Pentagon right now. I can tell you the hallways are empty, and all of the information is coming right now out of the White House. That is a significant achievement because there were no leaks about the timing. Now, sometimes I think those who, a lot of the flight trackers, the open source intelligence flight trackers, that flight radar did indicate some of when the B-2s took off from Whiteman. But again, nobody really expected that it would take place this evening. If you looked at the moon schedule, you might have had a clue because it was a waning crescent and almost a new moon on the 25th. So it would have been very, very dark over Iran tonight, and you need that in order to bomb. That's the ideal condition for something like a B-2 that is, yes, it's stealth, but it still has to be escorted in case any Iran were to put up any planes or there were any opportunities to fire on those B-2s, which are such valuable and very, very special planes. Only the U.S. military has this kind of weaponry and this capability. No other country in the world could have carried off what occurred tonight at those 3 uranium enrichment sites.
您看特朗普昨天这一仗啊，是美军几十年来最完整、最隐秘、最精准的一场对外打击。而这场仗啊，打的不仅仅是核设施，更主要的呢是美国在中东的话语权。这以色列总理内塔尼亚胡不也是在第一时间就出来给捧场了吗？他也说是先有实力，后有和平。您这话听起来就像是老生常谈，但是现在回头一看呢，特朗普虽然嘴上老挂着和平，可是他所谓的这个和平啊，是在战后要跟你谈的和平，不是一开始嘴上说说，是打完了你以后，我现在愿意跟你谈了。但是你现在愿意谈的不重要啊，虽说你把他给打了，但是伊朗这边呢，人家还照样嘴硬着呢。伊朗官媒这边不也第一时间发声了吗？说福尔多啊并没有被炸毁，只是出入口被炸塌了。换句话说呢，就是伊朗等于说啊，你炸我了啊，确实没错，大家也都看见了，但是呢，我没事儿，没有什么大碍。您看他这嘴有多硬吧啊！现在全世界都看见了，都给你炸成这样了，你还说没什么大碍呢？但是您从川普这语气里也能听出来啊，他根本就不在意伊朗这边你嘴硬不硬的，因为他说的也很清楚，今晚这几个目标是最难打的，如果还不谈，那接下来其他的目标我们几分钟啊就能给你搞定了。不是我想打你，是你让我打。既然你自己都舍得死，那我就舍得埋呗。所以现在全球都在等，伊朗呢要不要反击，要不要出第二波？中东战争呢会不会再继续升级？小铺呢在这边给您盯着，有什么新的动向，我随时向您汇报。好，今天就先聊这么多吧。小铺的经营离不开大家的支持，希望您能点赞订阅，非常感谢。回家了您嘞。